Welcome to the Tigerium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a review of the MechFanstoys Megatron, which is a play on Megotroun. In full disclosure, this thing is not an official MechFanstoys mold. They copied the DX9 and actually made it bigger and less polished. But it's still cool, it's still awesome, and I want to give all the credit to everything that happens in this to the company of DX9 because it's their design and they did all the work. And I really think that if you got the DX9 one, you'd be happier with the aesthetic, but I'm happier with the size of this one. I really like how you have all of this, you have everything. You have this silencer, you have the scope, you have the hilt, and it's adjustable, and it turns into, everything you expect it to. But I want to say that this thing here is really cool, and my son, who is a Star Wars collector and doesn't really care for Transformers, saw this and was impressed. He has seen my entire collection. I just got this in and was like, wow, that is awesome, Dad. And I'm not gonna lie, you've got some red in there, and it does look, it's very tune accurate with the color scheme. The original DX9 was more a metallic and kind of like a toy version. Here's a quick look at the box. The packaging's pretty nice. I was surprised to see how big this thing was, but then again, it comes with all of those wonderful accessories. Great box. Here's an original toy version, and it's pretty dang close. Like MechFanstoys stuff, when I look at it, it's oversized to almost match G1. This is almost big enough, not quite big enough to take over your G1 collection, but it's almost big enough. I would like them to upsize it, another 30%, and then make a G1 one. But you put with your chug scale, like it's 20 or 30% off to be G1, but we'll see that here in a second. So a couple other quick comparisons. I want to compare it to this is a Masterpiece version. So there's the Masterpiece gun that you got with MP01, and then they put it out with MP 22, the Soundwave, and I think it's very similar to what we got in the reissue Starscream. So this is old school, kind of like Legends, but I think they call it Legions Megatron. And so it's kind of a Legends one. Since this is considered Legends Plus, I guess, we're gonna look at this guy too. So let's go ahead and transform this guy now. I've been messing with it for a few days, so let's go ahead and split the legs a little bit to get this out of here. We want to get the stock out. So we split the legs to get the stock out, but you're gonna have to split the legs to transform it anyway. You're gonna pull this off and move those parts aside, and then there's a lot going on with this thing, and it's an interesting transformation that goes together in a couple of different ways. So let's, oh yeah, take that off too. Lift this thing up. So we're gonna break it all up. And the legs go together in an interesting way. So each leg forms half of the handle. One forms the front, one forms the back. And that's an interesting way to do this. So we're gonna move that down and then fold these pieces down, out. They're actually gonna go inside of that. Pull this out, inside of that, and then I'm gonna fold the foot out all the way, and then we're gonna make the leg. Now this is actually going to be the back of the leg. So we have that knee. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Well, I say the same, but it's different. So you're gonna fold these pieces out, and then they go on the inside. So like the extra half of it goes on the inside. Then you're going to put the foot out, and then it's on a double hinge. And then you're going to flip it around so it's clean. And we have two clean legs, and if you see, we've got the lower legs done, and we've got to mess around with all of this other fun stuff. Now, up here, both arms actually form the back, but this is a different way of doing both arms. So you want to get one arm out, and then, of course, the other arm is going to come out too. And one of the arms, which I just don't remember which one of the arms is going to fly around to the other side. So look at that top piece there. That's going to go up. This comes back and slides in. This piece here rotates around and comes to the back. This little tab right here, and I'm going to need to probably get a spudger. I cut my nails, so I can't get it out. This is my spudger. It's a metal spudger. Just get in there and dig this thing out. There he is. Now that would be able to move that over and collapse that down. So that whole process actually popped the head out. Push that up for his stomach there, and you have to start working on the arms. One arm's just going to push in and be that side's arm. So the hardest part about this transformation is getting this other second arm over. You got to make sure this little panel here, the stomach panel, is open, and then you're going to have to lean him forward. So see, if that panel's open, he can lean forward. And then you're going to move all of this, the second arm, all the way over and clear all of that. And then you're going to clean it up. Pull it down, open that up. It's cleaned up. You get his stomach, and there he is with that piece. Put that up and then move it around. Just a little bit of manipulation. And it looks like that is about it. This guy's gonna need a symbol, a faction symbol, but let's get him cleaned up and let's look at him. All right, so here he is, cleaned up and looking good. You've got the like transparent red on the inside all the way through there, so that's pretty cool. And then I want to talk about articulation with this guy. The head literally just turns back and forth, which is not a big deal. It feels like there's a little up and down, not much. And then you have arms don't do, the shoulders don't do hardly anything, literally just front and back. And I'm sure that's part of the transformation issues there. You've got an elbow, and it's a swivel right there. And then there's no waist rotation. It's because of the mechanism there. I mean, I guess if you want to make them taller. And then you've got thigh swivel, a knee. You've got, of course, the 90 degrees. You can do that. And you've got pretty much everything you need in the legs. But you don't have it in the shoulders, which is kind of a problem. You do have the ankle pivots to a small degree. Not like you've seen with some of these other figures. But it's enough. Now I want to say, good job, DX9. You could tell that's Megatron. That looks good. I love the chest. I love the whole look of him, the whole silhouette. A little bit, starts to get a little bit junky in the back, but I can live with that. The legs are open and some junk on them. And of course, you know, Legends get a pass because they're so small and they're just so cute. And he has great accessories. Of course, the obligatory helmet, mind control helmet. He has that sword he used one time. And he has that gun. Now, I can't remember whose gun that was that he used to kill Prime, but he's got to be able to kill Prime again. And then looking at the face, I did go ahead and throw the alternate face on there so we can get a good look at it. Let's get that in focus. Oh, he's smiling. His maniacal face. And of course, that blast effect. That the sword, it just unplugs and then you have the blast effect. Megatron also has this thing here that it makes him a hit at parties, I guess, and it moves around. It's that ball goes to the end of it. And yeah, he used that in that one episode. And it's highly articulated, so that's pretty interesting. So I want to show this guy next to a G1 Megatron. Then I want to show the MechFanstoys version of Grimlock next to a G1 Grimlock. And somebody in my comments said that I have something really messed up in my head. And they are correct, because I think a little bit different. When I first started buying my first Legends figure, it was the MechFanstoys Swoop, and then I got him as my second, because I wanted them to be G1 replacements. Because look at G1, and then look at this guy. This guy looks more engineered. I really wished I had the shiny version of this guy. And I was kind of hoping Megotroun was a little bigger. But here's the thing. If he was big like this, he wouldn't fit into Legends scale. I think that you can make this Dinobot this big, and it makes sense that he's bigger than the rest of them because he's a Dinobot and a dinosaur. Now, Megatron himself, if you made Megotroun as big as the G1, it wouldn't work. So I guess I kind of understand that, but I was kind of hoping maybe MechFanstoys could KO oversize this to at least be a Voyager? Who knows? So here is Megotroun next to my KBB Combat Commander, which is a KO of Generation Toys kit. And I think they look good together. They'll not be actually displayed together on my display, but they'll work. Now, let's say we have another Autobot in the mix. That's MechFanstoys. This is Magic Square's Ultra Magnus, and I'm debating whether I get the MechFanstoys version of Ultra Magnus. Please vote down below if I should get that. I just recently reviewed this guy, and I recently reviewed this guy who's too big for what he is. Too big for his britches. Oh my gosh. And this guy here, what do you think? And it's not right unless you have his own minions. So here is the MechFanstoys Starscream and the Hot Soldiers MechFanstoys Mech whatever. They're all the same to me. I view them from the same company. They scale together. So I call them all MechFanstoys. Think they look good. This is a group, looks okay. Soundwave, I like Soundwave bigger than Starscream. It makes sense to me. All that looks good. We can even move this around and say, there we go. So when I thought of Legends, I kind of thought that this Legions Megatron was an adequate Legends Megatron. And I want to show you that the Legions Megatron is still not going to work in your Legends collection. This thing here is way better. Like, way better. Way more complicated. But this is smallest in the industry. And a Carbot towers over the Legions. So Legions won't work, just so you know. So anyway, what do you think of this KO oversized version of the DX9? Megatron? We call it Megotroun. This is the MechFanstoys. Do you think there'll be another better one? I saw a New Age one that looked pretty cool sitting on a throne. It was like a super off-the-wall teaser one. But what scares me is that New Age is that size. So remember that when you're thinking, oh, well, MechFanstoys for like 25 bucks. Or the New Age, which will be probably 35 or something, 33. Remember the scale that they go with. Like, subscribe, and Untitled Chapter out.